we're in winter and it's a little bit colder now, I thought it would be a really great time to bring out the Belle Pants pattern. If you've been following along with my brand for a little while now, you might remember the Belle Linen Pants and the Linen Lovers Pants. That was another variant of it as well. But these were such a hit when I brought them out back in, I think, 2020 or 2021, so quite a little while ago, but they were such a big hit back then, and I took them off the website because I wanted to kind of revamp them and bring out a new style. So that's why we have the Paloma pants now, which are based off of the same sort of style but are made very differently. The Belle Linen Pants, or the Linen Lovers Pants, is what I'm bringing to you guys today in this tutorial, and I think that you guys will really love it. It's a really quick and easy one. If you're a beginner sewer, you could definitely give this one a try. Just have a practice with zips beforehand, and maybe doing some darts as well. They're very simple things to do, but the pattern itself is quite simple. The only hard part on it is the zips, so as long as you're comfortable with doing zips, then it's definitely easy for beginners to try. All the information that you need to make this pattern is in the printable download that you can purchase and print out for yourself on my website. I'll have that link down below for you. So let's begin. What you'll need is the Belle Pants sewing pattern. This is linked below for you to purchase. Cut this out in your sizing, and then you'll also need an invisible zipper. I use a 12-inch one for size 12, but there is the recommended size zip on the printout. You'll also need a medium weighted fabric, preferably linen. I'm using this gorgeous stonewashed white linen. I've also left some places where to buy fabrics from in the description below. Follow the instructions on your pattern and cut out all of the pieces that you need. Don't forget to add the notches in. These are located on the side seam where the hem will be, and also the dart at the top. When marking your dart, slightly cut a notch on either edge of the top of the dart as shown, and then where the point is, place a pin there and pierce it through the paper onto the fabric. My pattern had tape there, so I couldn't pierce it, so instead I just poked a hole, then placed the pin onto the fabric directly. Remember to do the same for the front and the back pattern, and then just cut out all the other pieces that you need. Now it's time to sew. We'll first begin by sewing our darts. If you haven't done darts before, it's very easy. Just line the notches up at the top of the pattern by folding them onto each other and lining up the pin. I place a pin at the top and have the other one down the bottom where we put it when we were cutting out the patterns. Remember that you'll also need to flip over one of each of the back pattern piece and the front pattern piece so that they are opposite facing to create both sides. Now that's done, we're going to sew the darts. The best way to explain this is picture the dart as a triangle. The top where the notches are is the beginning, and we'll sew a straight line down to the pin that is placed where the point of the triangle would be. I sew this by back tacking at the top and then sewing a straight line down to the point, and instead of back tacking there, I sew slightly over the edge of the fabric, lift the needle and then pull the thread out and tie 2 knots there. I just think this stops the fabric bunching and it makes it look nicer, and also reassures that the dart won't come undone. Then you're just going to repeat this for all of the other sides. We'll do the waistband next. Place the notches on the side seams together, pin and then sew these in place. One side will be left open, and this is because this is where the zipper will go. Then we're also going to overlock both of those raw edges. If you don't have an overlocker, you can just do a zigzag stitch with your sewing machine. We will also overlock the outer edge of the waistband from the shorter edges along the bottom part, leaving the top edge, as we'll do this later on. Here's what it will look like, and then after this we're going to take all of our pieces over to the ironing board and we're going to iron flat our darts so that they sit nicely on our body, and then we're also just going to iron the waistband down as well. Back to the sewing machine, we'll now sew the inseam of the pants. Place one of the back patterns with one of the front patterns, good sides facing, and pin down the inseam ready to sew. A good way to make sure you know which pieces the back is to put a piece of tape or a pin on the back patterns so that you can tell the difference. Once they're pinned in place, just sew a straight stitch all the way down both of the inseams. Then take it over to your overlocker, or you can just do a zigzag stitch on your sewing machine and just sew down those raw edges as well. We're also going to overlock where the seat is on the pants, which is the curved part. Do this for both sides, as this is where our zipper will go, and we want to make sure that this is nice and clean and not frayed. Then we're just going to iron those inseams flat as well. Now we're going to work on the zipper, so you're going to have to replace your presser foot with a zipper foot. If you don't have one of these, you can purchase them online or like from Spotlight or just another sewing machine place. Taking your zipper, you'll need to open it up, and as you can see at the top there is this plasticky part that stops it from coming off. Some zippers have a metal piece there instead, but basically this is going to sit about 1/2 centimeter below the top edge of the pants. The zipper will line up with that curve that we just overlocked on the back pattern piece. Have the good side of the zipper facing the good side of the fabric. The part of the zipper with the fabric on it should align with the overlocked edge. Once you have pinned this all in place, sew a straight stitch along the edge of the zipper. I go over this twice, and I also just stop before I get to the bottom where the zipper head is. Then we're going to repeat these steps and do it for the opposite side, so you will have to also change your presser foot over to the opposite side as well. And now is a good time to make sure that your zipper closes properly, so just give it a nice quick zip, and if it doesn't, maybe unpick your zip and just try it again, because you don't want the fabric getting caught or anything as well. Next, we're going to sew the seat or the bottom part of the pants together. You'll need to align the center seams of the pants together and pin this all in place along the whole edge. When you get to the zipper part, make sure your zipper is up, and then we're going to start sewing from about 1/2 centimeter above where we ended our sewing on the actual zipper. Hopefully that makes sense. As you can see here, this is where I'll start my sewing. Make sure that your zipper is out of the way. You don't want to be sewing over that as well, because you'll break your needle. Just make sure that you're starting on the actual pants pattern. I also go over this twice just to make it extra secure. If you'd also like to, you can overlock from the top edge of the other side right down to just past the center seam, or like right up close to the zipper, but you'll just have to end your overlocker before the zipper because obviously you won't be able to continue sewing once you get there. We're going to secure the bottom parts of the zipper down by basically doing the same step we did in the beginning. This time the zipper is fully closed and we can sew down the bottom of the zipper to the overlocked edge, making sure we're only going over the part on each side of the pants. Now we're going to move on to the side seams, and we're going to flip the pants kind of inside out basically, or just so that the good sides are facing each other, and you're going to align the center seams together, so where the zipper is on the back pants and then just the front seam, align those up together, and then you can easily just go to either side of the pants, align both of the side seams up together, pin them in place, and then sew down. Then take it to the overlocker and overlock both of those side seams down, or you can just do a zigzag stitch on your sewing machine. This is the part where I also will overlock the edge of the bottom of the pants, so where we will hem it, and then we'll move on to hemming the pants. There should be notches on the pants, but if you've lengthened or shortened these, then you might just have to figure out how much you want to hem these by, but the basic hemming that I go off of for these pants is 2 inches, and I just measure that out and pin them in place, and then we go over to the sewing machine and sew them. We'll also iron down the seams that we've just sewn, as well as the hem, so that they sit nice and flat. Taking the waistband, we're going to pin the top of it to the center of the pants, good sides facing each other. You'll also pin all the way along the top edge towards the zipper, and then we'll sew this. You'll be sewing over the zipper to lock it in place, so just be careful as you don't want to break the needle or get it stuck. I sew 1 centimeter down from the top edge of the zipper, or basically just above where that plastic stopper is that I showed at the beginning. You'll also be leaving about 1 centimeter seam allowance along the edge for this. Then we're going to overlock this edge, or you can do a zigzag stitch as well. Just make sure that you're not catching your zipper on your overlocker. You want to start from about 1 centimeter down from your zipper and then stop about 1 centimeter before your zipper, so that you don't catch it or cut it on your overlocker. My camera died when I was trying to film this, so I tried to show it again, but basically we're going to secure the waistband now, and I do this by sewing the overlocked edge flat to the waistband from the inside. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. We're also going to sew down the sides of the waistband to the zipper. It's the exact same step that we did earlier on with the zippers. This time the zipper will become encased in the waistband and the pant. This is what it will look like. The zipper will be encased here. You'll have the waistband side seam overhanging by a tiny bit, and also the stitching from the inside of the waistband will look like this on the good side of the fabric. We can then fold the waistband over and iron this. Just before though, we will cut off the top fabric part of the inside of the zipper just so we can poke it out on the good side and it will give us a bit of a pointed edge. Then after that we can iron it flat. I didn't really show it that well in the video, but basically just cut on a diagonal so that you're not cutting it along the lengthways of the fabric or anything, you're just cutting it diagonally so that it can poke out easily. After you've ironed it, we'll then sew about a 4 or 5 centimeter stitch along the edge of the zipper to help hold the waistband in place. I do this on the good side of the pants, and this will just help stop fabric from getting caught in the zipper. We'll also do a stitch in the ditch method on the center seam as well as the 2 side seams. This will just help the waistband from not rolling over as well while you're wearing it. So all you have to do is sew a 2 or 3 centimeter max stitch down the center seam right in like the ditch sort of seam part, and just do this on the center seam and the side seams, and this will help stop the waistband from rolling over. Cut off any loose threads and make sure that your zipper closes and everything, and then you're pretty much done with the Belle Pants. Here's what the Belle Pants look like on me. I absolutely love these ever since I brought them out a few years ago, and I've been wearing them on rotation ever since in so many different colors. I have these pants in black, white, neutral, and I think also a brown as well, but I would love to see these in so many different colors. I feel like orange or yellow would be super fun, and yeah, I can't wait to see you guys create them. And that is the end of this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this. The Belle Linen Pants look like this. Hopefully I can put a little picture up on the screen here for you guys. These pants, for me, they're perfect for winter because I live in Queensland, so it's typically still quite warm here, but they're also great for spring, and if you're doing them in linen, you can definitely get away with wearing them in the summertime as well. For sizing, although sizing is on the printed sheets, but I do recommend going off of your waist measurement and figuring out if you should size up or size down with these. I typically size up in these pants just because they are that fitted style. Another thing, if you want to lengthen or shorten these pants, you can easily do that by measuring your outer seam length, so from your waist down to your ankle, and then either subtracting or adding onto the bottom of the hem how much you need to adjust that by. I think a really fun thing to do with these is have different lengths of them. You could definitely turn these into shorts as well and just measure out how long you want the shorts to be and then cut them to that length, or you can just make them really long. I'm so excited to see how your Belle Pants turn out, so please be sure to tag me at @inmay_the_label on Instagram or TikTok so I can see how you've created them. And if you also have any questions, be sure to reach out on there. I'm more than happy to help you. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!